stand by soldiers, stand by soldiers. Let the working motherfucking ass like a soldier.
What's happening, party people? How we doing? How we doing? Hope I'm not too close to the mic. Shout outs to Natalie Grant. Shout outs to Keisha, his future Steel. Shout out to Daphne Victor. Shout out to Katrina Williams. Shout out to Keisha Royal Gem. Yeah, we talking about it tonight, man. We talking about it tonight. This movie got the timeline buzzing, so I gotta address it. You know what I mean? It got the timeline buzzing. I'm like, what the helly? What the helly on? What the helly? So yeah, we gonna talk about it tonight.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Right.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Oh, let's get the YouTube. Let's get the YouTube right. That's it. You got the Instagram right. I need my. We can close this. Where's my? I got some new sound effects too. Oh shoot, hold on. Got some new sound effects, some new toys. Some new toys to play with. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to have some fun.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
All right, I think we're ready.
A badass bitch.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm really ready.
To the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Yeah, buddy. Both man hand rubber. It's about that time. Wait a minute. No, that's not the one I wanted. My bad. Yes, sirski. Oh, wow. All right, that stuff I'll do later. Yeah. Welcome to this multi-million-dollar podcast. I'm your host, Kev Prosper, the owner and founder of Prosperity U LLC. You are tuned into Love and Money, the podcast of Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. Remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity U LLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. All right, y'all see it. You see it. You see what we talking about today. Y'all see it. Let me get to my notes, man. Let me get to my notes. Yeah. Hold on. Let me set this up. The last time I can remember Tyler Perry doing a movie like this was Gone Girl. Gone Girl. That was, I think he did another one with that little light skinned girl where she was cheating on her husband. That was a cool one, but like I'm talking about like that didn't involve romance. You know what I'm saying? A movie that just had nothing to do with romance. I think the last one I can remember that Tyler Perry did was Gone Girl, and I see a lot of people mentioning Acrimony. I didn't see that movie. I think I got to watch that too. That's probably next on the menu. But yeah, I liked Gone Girl. I liked Gone Girl. I felt like that movie, like I think Tyler Perry had his hand in it, but it wasn't like solely him. I think he just backed somebody else who created the movie. I think that's what it was. But yeah, but this movie, this was a very much a soap opera. This is very much a soap opera, or what the more colloquial, the academics would call a Greek tragedy. You know what I'm saying? I think this is what we would call this. Now, now, matter of fact, I'm gonna save that till the very end. So, and I keep saying Tyler did this, Tyler did that, like as if he had a direct hand in it. Like maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Like I don't think that would be privy to us as the audience if we're not like per se Hollywood insiders or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that would be at the forefront of our knowledge or privy to us per se. But we can just assume that Tyler Perry had a direct hand in directing this. You know what I'm saying? If not approving this film, or surveying it and reviewing it and make sure it's up to snuff, or up to Tyler Perry snuff. Up to brand. It's on brand, as they say, right? So I like how the premise of the story was set. I like the setting of the story and the way things were laid out. Before you even meet the characters, you meet the living situation, you meet the setting and the environment. You know what I mean? And so it kind of puts the audience at home. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it's like. Look around. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself at home. That's kind of the vibe that I got. You see the medicine pills on the table. You see the bowl of ramen noodles. And anyone in our first world will tell you that ramen noodles are synonymous with struggle. You know what I mean? You see the fan. See the fan blowing, the small fan, and with no AC, and then the ceiling fan with a blade missing. The noisy neighbors bumping music all times of the day. What is it with poor people that they feel the need to blast music? Like anything, I guess it's like anything to distract themselves from the poverty. You know what I'm saying? Anything to hypnotize themselves and distract themselves from the reality that they're stuck in, per se, right? But I don't know, just poor people love to be noisy. They're loud. They love to be loud. They got to shout all the time. They're always yelling at each other. I guess that's the frustration of poverty manifesting itself outwards through the body. You know what I'm saying? The fear, the desperation, the lack of the loss of hope, all of these things, like you're hollering in your mind, and so it comes out through your body and through your actions. That's why there's so much violence in the hood, and so on and so on and so forth. But I don't want to get sidetracked. obviously it's a 1-bedroom. They're sleeping in the same. It's probably not even a 1-bedroom. It's just a studio. You know what I'm saying? And then they sleeping in the same bed. Past due bills laying around, an eviction notice on the table. Like this is all before the characters are introduced. So the stage is being set. You're being introduced to the world, and I think that was the protagonist of the film. Like most compelling films, the star of the film is not the actor or actress. The star of the film is the setting, is the environment, is the star or the protagonist or the antagonist of the film is the environment. You know what I'm saying? We're introduced to these characters practically swimming upstream. You know what I'm saying? The little girl and her mom, you know what I'm saying, swimming upstream through life. You know, everything is, all the odds are against them, right? And then so this is where the Greek tragedy is established, right? She drives her daughter to school. And you look, that was one thing I noticed. Her car compared to all the other cars, she had the raggediest car in the pickup line, or in the school pickup and drop off line. And then as the film goes on, you know, she's it seems like everywhere she goes, she's constantly being disrespected. And this is where the audience can invest. This is where the audience begins to invest. You know what I'm saying? You've already, the director has already bought your sympathy with the home situation, and now when you go outside, you have all of this anger. So you have all of this desperation and desolation coming at home, only to go outside and be faced with all of this anger and disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So now the audience is highly emotionally invested. First we bought you with sympathy, now we're gonna buy you with anger. You know what I'm saying? And so I could only, I saw this at home. I could only imagine what it would be like watching this in theaters. Oh my God. A fight would break out in the lobby, in the theater lobby. But, you know, she's bombarded with her landlord. You ain't got my rent. And like, I don't know if you've ever been in that situation. I've been evicted multiple times, I'll say. I've been evicted more than once. And the last question you want to hear is your landlord asking you for rent money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the most squirmish feeling in the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so yeah, the landlord is beating her in the head. You know, then she goes to work. The customers are disrespecting her. Like, oh my gosh, look at her. She just walking in. She just walking in. She don't see the line. Like, she don't know we need help. You know what I mean? The customers are disrespecting her. Like the one customer, she got to the cash register and the customer gave her attitude, and her man broke something on her near her foot. She could have got, like, a glass could have cut her. You know what I mean? Like, you know, shit like the crazy shit. And I'm pretty sure, like, this is very much a composite character. Like, shit like this happens in real life. And so Tyler Perry, or the director per se, or the film creator is kind of, adding injury to insult. You know what I'm saying? Letting the audience buy in. Say, oh man, if that was me, oh, you know what I mean? And then, you know, she goes to she asks for, her boss is disrespecting her. You know what I'm saying? And then he not only is he being disrespectful to her, but he's just being a hard ass. Like, yo, like, you know what I mean? And I guess I'm pretty sure there's no backstory needed. I mean, anybody who's, you know, lived low to low middle to middle class and who's had to punch a clock and work a 9 to 5 can relate to these kind of things. You know what I mean? Sometimes your personal life can be an obstruction to your occupational life. You know what I mean? You may not necessarily have everything together. You may not necessarily have everything in order. And this job is pretty much a stepping stool to get you on your feet. You know what I mean? And so you find yourself having to barter your time between this job that you need, even though you don't like it, but you need, and these personal situations that are putting demands on you that you have to step away from your job. That in and of itself is a stress, and then your boss coming down on you. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, Heavy is the head. He's probably just as stressed as you are, but he has different kind of problems than you do. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another conversation. Then the bank teller at first, you know, kind of being a little dismissive, but that's a character arc in and of itself. The bank teller, Sherry Shepherd's character, you know. But so we'll get to that. Let's talk about. Oh, sure. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let's talk about her coworker helping her out. You know, when you need help, and when you know those folks who can. There's been plenty of occasions where I needed help. I mean, when I tell you I've come out the mud, I have come out the mud, and so this movie was very relative to me in a lot of ways, even as a man, but. You know, the friend helping out, and I don't think there was much to that. You know, it was just good to have people in your corner like that. You know what I'm saying? When you need help, you need help. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being human. I think that's some people don't understand that. Some people who are very privileged or who they may have climbed out the mud, but they don't know how to be compassionate. You know what I'm saying? Like those David Goggins character types. You know what I'm saying? Them folks, you know, they get what they got and they get what they deserve. You know, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, you know, it's okay to be human. It's okay to be human. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to need help. There's a gray area to that, though. And I want to touch on that at the end of this discussion. I want to touch on that at the end. She has aspirations. She wanted to go to nursing school. I have so many nursing friends. I have so many. You know, nursing is the way out. Nursing is the way out. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money in the hospital system. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in the medical industry, in the pharmaceutical industry. You know what I'm saying? Sick people are big money. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So yeah, she has her aspirations, but I mean, when you look at this character, and there's so many real life people who are similar to this character. You know what I mean? Yeah, nursing school is an aspiration for her, but in a lot of ways, when you look at everything stacked up against her and where she's at in her life, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much a dream. It's pretty much a pipe dream at this point. You feel me? Like, and that's the sad reality for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Also, I've been there. You know, it's a sad reality. Like, you know, you start asking God, like, damn, will I ever? Will this ever? Can this happen? And it's not that you're doubting yourself or you're doubting God, but you're just looking at the landscape of things, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, how am I gonna make this work? How's this gonna come together? But you know, at the end of the day, it's just, when it comes to life, it's just left foot, right foot. You know what I'm saying? It's left foot, right foot, and you know what I'm saying, that little beam, you know what I'm saying? That little beam turns into a big light, and that big light turns into a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And so yeah, you gotta it's all about left foot, right foot at the end of the day. So yeah, then here comes yeah, then there's the pressure cooker scene. This is the climax. This is where, you know, she wants to leave work to pick up her daughter. Boss giving her shit. Then she goes to the bank, tries to withdraw some money. She ain't got an ID. You know what I'm saying? Then she finally gets to the school, and then they take away her daughter. I really don't want to spoil it. But yeah, she finally gets to the school, and then they take away her daughter. And then, so I think wait, she can't withdraw her money, and then so she needed to. And then that's what lost me. And then that's when I realized that, oh, okay, I get it, because she went back to the bank, or I think she got fired. That's what it was. She got fired, and she needed to pay her rent, and she needed enough money to pay her rent. So after she got fired, she goes back to the bank. She needed to pay her rent and then give the school $40 so that she could stop. Her daughter could stop being made fun of. And that's the thing. Like I used to when I lived a different life, I used to wonder like how you don't have a paper, how kids come to school without a paper and a pencil, but you got on a fresh pair of J's. You know what I'm saying? Like your outfit brand new, but you ain't got a paper and a pencil for class. You know what I'm saying? Like how that work? You know what I mean? And that's the thing about poverty. You know, you got to do a lot of wrong to get right. You know what I'm saying? Poverty is perversion, in the sense that, like, by definition of perversion, to pervert something means to, like, you know how you revert something. To pervert something is to do the opposite, or hold on, let me not. I'm over here sounding fake intelligent. Like, pervert, verb, definition, yeah. To alter something from its original course to a distortion or corruption. So basically, yeah, so that's what poverty does. Poverty is corruption. Poverty perverts things. You know what I mean? So it would make sense that you're coming to school, you need a pencil and a paper. But that's not as having a pencil and a paper so that you can get an education is not as important as having on fresh sneakers so that you don't get made fun of. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how your priorities shift when you're poor. You know what I mean? It's sad, but it's true. You know what I mean? So yeah, she went back to the bank, and then this is where the bank robbery scene begins, because she had been through all of that. She had been through the actual, it was a whole actual murder. You know what I'm saying? She had been through all of that at the job before she got fired. She wanted to get her check, and then she was basically gonna, pretty much rob her boss for her check, because the boss wanted to send it in the mail. You know what I mean? And so, while she's demanding her check from her boss, she ends up finding herself in the middle of a robbery with her boss. You know what I mean? And then an entire murder takes place. You know what I mean? The first one, I would say, if I were to be a judge in a court of law, the first one was a manslaughter or a self-defense manslaughter, and then the second one was I would say a third degree murder, maybe a third or second degree murder, but it was a double homicide, pretty much. She leaves that like it was nothing. Blood on her clothes, you know what I'm saying? At the bank teller with a gun. You know what I'm saying? She's at the bank teller with a gun. Like, first of all, you walk into a bank with blood on your clothes, it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well. You know what I mean? You sweating, you know what I'm saying? You hysterical looking, you know what I'm saying? And then you pull out a pistol, like, it's not gonna go well. Whatever your intention was, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? It's not gonna go well for you. So now she's in the bank, you know what I'm saying? And then And now the detectives are trying to track her down. They got word that this popped off at the job. They heard gunshots at the job, so the detectives are looking into it. And it was I wouldn't say it was cool, or I wouldn't say it was odd. I'm trying to find a word, but it was interesting how Tiana Taylor's character and the other male detective, they had entirely different perspectives on the matter. You know what I'm saying? The male detective was like, oh, well, we had word that this went down, and we saw the footage, and da. He was looking at it very literal, whereas the Tiana Taylor character was like, well, nah, it's deeper than that. Like, this woman is going through some shit. She's not like why would she do such a thing? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. And she was kind of like the woman's intuition side of it. She was like, that male female flip the coin, other side of the coin type. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was very interesting. How subjective and objective you can be about a particular situation where it on the surface. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if they would have interviewed her or what's the word that when they take you in for questioning, they interrogated her. I'm pretty sure if they interrogated her, they would understand. They would both have an even understanding of the situation. But from his male perspective and from her feminine perspective, they both looked at the same situation differently. And that was very interesting to me. Both of those detectives. The man rushes her. He rushes her. I don't know what he was trying to do when he rushed her with the gun, but I guess he realized that, I don't know what he was trying to do, but he rushed her so he can get out. You know what I mean? He didn't even take the gun from her. You know what I mean? But I guess, yeah. And then it was funny, him and the security guard ran out, and then he was like, this nigga ain't even do shit. I saw somebody on my timeline today, shout outs to her. She said it's funny how men won't even help you. Once again, this is the sympathy of it all. And I'm gonna get to that at the end of my take. And then the female detective, when it comes to negotiation, it's always important to relate to the what is this, hostages, and there's hostagers or hostages and hostagers, or the hold hostager, or like what's the name? What do you call the person? But yeah, it's always important to relate to the person that you're negotiating with in some way, shape, or form. When you go into a business negotiation, you want to do a little research on the person you're negotiating with. You want to find out, what's their favorite meal, or, what I'm saying, what kind of car do they drive? And, little things. You want to find out little things and kind of level with them. And that's what the Tiana Taylor character was doing throughout most of the film, throughout most of the bank robbery scene. Just trying to level with her and trying to relate to her and get her to do what she wants her to do, but also make her feel safe while she's doing it, So yeah, and then there were like three elders in the bank robbery who were trapped in the bank. After dude ran out and the security guard ran out, it was the two other bank tellers, the manager, and then the three elders. It was an elderly couple, which they eventually let out. It was an elderly couple, and then the elderly woman, right? They did a lot of fussing at her, you know what I'm saying? Talking, and that bank robbery scene, those hostages, it kind of showed you like the different viewpoints from generation to generation and from class to class. You know what I mean? Like the older couple, the gentleman, hey, I'm a veteran, I fought for this country, and y'all are too entitled, right? Okay, I get that. The other old woman, the single old woman, that was kind of like Taraji P. Henson's character looking in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? This is you when you become old, pretty much. You know what I mean? And, you know, she was telling her, like, yo, as bad as you think you got it, it ain't always that bad. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, so, and then, you know, you had the mean bank teller, whereas, you know, she probably was pretty spoon fed and privileged, and she don't really give a fuck about nobody. You know what I mean? Oh, and then I didn't even talk about the cop in the beginning who ran off the road, but that cop was pretty much a trope. You know what I'm saying? For these hothead young white cops who always want to like kind of abuse citizens in the street and whatnot, or abuse their authority. You know what I mean? I get that, but you know, the Tyler would. I want to say Tyler, but the film creator was playing on a lot of tropes. He's playing on a lot of tropes and a lot of stereotypes. And of course, this is how the audience buys in, you know. Where we at? So, and then the Sherry Shepherd character, the manager, she was like, I know you. Like trying to, you know, look into her soul, so almost, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was very much the thread of this movie. Just trying, everyone, like people from all walks of life trying to relate to one another and trying to find compassion within one another. Yeah. And then who said that? I think it was the Taraji P. Henson character. There was a quote, a strong quote. It said, black women always have something to get over. I felt like that's a woe is me kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, well, I'm not a black woman, so how would I know, right? But I do feel like, shout outs to Shorty Red One and Only on Instagram. Welcome. But yeah, it seems like that's a woe is me, you know, because I don't know. I think it's so easy in the black culture. It's so welcomed and embraced. Like, we embrace struggle so much. We embrace victimhood so freaking much in the black culture, and I'm really sick of it. I'm really tired of it. You know what I mean? I'm waiting. I'm thirsty and starving for and that's why I love the movie Sinners so much, because this was you know, that movie was a very uplifting film. You know what I mean? Whereas I'm looking for depictions and people and black people who have a champion mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we win. Yes, we did this. Yes, we overcame. Yeah, we might struggle, of course. You know what I'm saying? But our struggle made us stronger. And you know what I'm saying? Instead of, oh, you know, woe is me, we always got something to get over. Someone's always got it out for us. Someone's always doing something to us. Like, yo, no one. Let me continue. Then the Sherry Shepherd character. This is first we were touching on the different generations, right? And now we're touching on the different social classes. So the Sherry Shepherd character was like she's a working wife, you know. She's a working wife, got a husband at home, you know what I'm saying, got kids, all that, kids growing up, put them through college. You know, she's the quintessential, you know what I'm saying, a middle-class modern woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, they live a good life, right? She has it all together. And the flip side coin of that is the Taraji P. Henson character, where she's a whole hot mess. She's a single mother. Ain't no man in her life. And I'm going to get to that point too. You know, and they kind of I wouldn't say they bump heads, but they confront each other compassionately, and then they begin to bond and in this scene. And this is like an hour into the film. You know what I'm saying? They begin to bond, and they see eye to eye. You know. However, they come to a fork in the road where the Sherry Shepherd character was like, you know, I don't know what I would do without my husband. And the Taraji P. Henson character was like, well, you'll figure it out. Now, that may be true. But they share two different realities pretty much. Because what the Sherry Shepherd character was really trying to say is, I defer to my man. You know what I'm saying? I honor my man, I respect my man, and I love my man. And what the Taraji P. Henson character was saying is, ain't no man, ain't no man, ain't no man. Like I always say, that's the thread of language that those kind of women use. Remember, I'm the ratchetologist. Take my advice. But yeah, so yeah, they kind of forked in the road at that point. But the film creator didn't want to go too deep into that because he still wanted you to buy into the Taraji P. Henson character and her plight. We done took you from the home to the landlord to the boss at work. You know what I'm saying? To now the crazy situation at work with the gunshots popping off and the whole entire murder taking place, to the bank scene, to the bank robbery. Now we all the way at this bank robbery. You know what I'm saying? We done took you on this journey through this woman's life. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna let go. We're not gonna let up on the gas at this point. Now we're gonna drive it home and let you feel as sorry for this character as we need you to feel. You know what I'm saying? This is what they did. And then the reveal comes. They had a whole scene montage, a whole flashback, and this woman, not to spoil it, but this woman went through an entire psychosis. She had an entire psychotic episode throughout the entire day. You know what I mean? And I was wondering why the school principal was looking at her like that in the beginning. I was like, why is she looking at her like that? You know what I mean? Maybe the school principal don't like her. I don't know. Right? But it was weird. And then the Sherry Shepherd character was trying to, usher her out. And she was like, you just put your hands up and surrender. I felt like that was pretty metaphoric. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was a symbolism in a way. You know what I'm saying? Just put your hands up and surrender. If you're not familiar, a lot of new age Christian churches per se, they believe in surrendering to God and putting your hands up and just opening up to God. So that I think that was like a spiritual symbolism. I took it that way, but take it how you will. So now my final take. I got 10 minutes left. We're at my final take of this film. I got several quotes. And I want to expound on each quote. So my first quote in regards to this film: children cannot be a blessing if your life looks like a curse. I know. It's like that. It's like that. But children cannot be a blessing if your life looks like a curse. Far too many times, it's the polite thing to say that children are a blessing, right? Because for one, ultimately children didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask to be here. So, children don't ask to be here. Children don't ask to have the parents that they have or the caregivers that they have. Children don't ask to come up in the circumstances that they come up in. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That was another thing too. They kept showing like just cash laying everywhere, and she only wanted the specific amount of money. She didn't want money. She just wanted her check. She didn't want the money from the bank teller. She just wanted the money from her check. Like it was just. That's another way of getting the audience to buy in as well. Like she's an honest woman. You know what I'm saying? She's not greedy. She's not money hungry. She's not. There's no ounce of thought in her. You know what I'm saying? To where she feels the need to rob Peter to pay Peter. You know what I mean? So it kind of gives you a sense of nobility in the character. So where the sympathy is more warranted. You know what I'm saying? And I did catch that as well. She's like, why are you giving me all this money? Why are you giving me all this money? So I just wanted to touch on that. I didn't want to miss that while I'm recording. Yeah, children cannot be a blessing if your life looked like a curse. You know what I mean? And I think if these are things, the things I'm about to say, if people knew it earlier on, I think it would save them a lot of heartache and pain. You know what I mean? And then, with our minds, we have to rationalize the struggle, and we have to reason with the struggle and say that, it's all for a cause. And it's no, you fucked up. Like just call a spade a shovel. You fucked up. You blew it. You know what I'm saying? You ruined your own life. Like, let's just say let's call it what it is. An hour in, the Sherry Shepherd character and the Taraji P. Henson character meet, and then they kind of bond a little and discuss, Sherry Shepherd character talking about her husband, and then, and so on and so forth, right? And I'm just like, okay, we're finally getting to some backstory about the Taraji P. Henson character, right? Like, where is the man in the situation? Like, how did you? I think, and then this is, I kind of realized this is when the light bulb went off. Because an hour into the film and we still don't get an explanation as to why she's a single mother, right? But I think that was intentional. Had we gotten a backstory to where the father is, who the father is, what happened between them, what kind of relationship did they have when they brought the child into the world? If we had any kind of backstory on that, the film would be null and void. It'd have been a wrap. It would have been, the movie would have been at the bottom of the algorithm. It would because immediately the audience would have to throw out a modicum, if at least a modicum, of any sympathy that they had for the character. And the film creator knew that. Tyler, I give it to you. You stayed on brand. With this one. You did your thing. I give it to you. And it's worked for you. It's worked for you. You know what I'm saying? It's worked for you thus far. Play on the sympathies of black women. Just play on it. Just drill it like a like a jackhammer. You know what I'm saying? Play on it. It works. It works. I'm taking notes, Tyler. I'm taking notes. You know what I'm saying? You did that. We watched a hour and a half to 2 hour long film of a single mother, and barely, if at all, a mention of a dad, a husband, a father, a baby daddy, whatsoever. Of course you're gonna feel sorry for her. Of course you're gonna boo-hoo and of course. Then the character, the Taraji P. Henson character, is ranting and raving about no one cares. And the reality is they don't. Listen, we're adults in this world, man. We're adults. And I think what nobody tells a lot of people, especially in this first world, you know what I'm saying? In this first world we live in, what nobody tells people is that a lot of your life is your fault. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time somebody told me that. Maybe it may not have been the first time somebody told me that, but it was the first time where it glared at me when they said it. You know what I'm saying? I remember. And it changed my life. And I remember how green I felt when the person told me this. Yeah, you in that predicament. It's because what you did is your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like the accountability. It gut checked me, and made me feel ugly, and but it made me so much better. Accountability is vegetables, y'all. It's such vegetables, you know what I'm saying? Like, you eating it and you just like, oh, it's a bitter pill. Bitter pill, you know what I'm saying? Oh. But the way you feel the next day, you know what I'm saying? The strength, the mental clarity, you know what I'm saying? The way your body feels, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that vegetables do for you, accountability does the same. You know what I'm saying? It just lifts you up. I'm telling you, ladies, I'm telling you, black women, accountability is like it's the wonder drug. Try it. Trust me, black women. It works. This movie was a fairy tale in female narcissism. I said it. Play on, buy sympathy, play on emotions, manipulate, get them on your side. You know what I'm saying? Like halfway into the movie, I was just like, wait a minute, this woman just committed a murder. Like, what's going on? What's going on? They protesting outside, you know what I'm saying, talking about free her and everything. Like, yo, she just committed a murder, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went on and on, ranting and raving, you know what I'm saying? Then they broadcasting her all over the social medias and the news media and everything, and she's so afraid that this cop is gonna kill her, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna legally kill her, and which is a real threat. It's a real fear, you know what I'm saying? Like these things can happen, you know what I'm saying? I get that. But once again, this was a fairy tale in female narcissism. You know what I mean? It placates on the expectation that we're supposed to blindly buy into the sympathy of the character. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to just blindly go along, you know what I'm saying, because here's my last thing. I want to with a minute left. This is the last point I want to make. You know what I mean? As far as buying sympathy is concerned, you know what I mean? Because I do believe, for a lot of women, sympathy is a currency. Just like beauty is a currency for a lot of women, sympathy is a currency for a lot of women, and that does be when in the act of manipulating people's emotions to buy sympathy, that does become an abuse, right? And once again, like I said, it's a fairy tale in female narcissism, right? You have to look at the root and not the fruit. I'm gonna say that one more time. You have to really why? You have to look at the fruit and not the root. This whole movie was the fruit. Why is she a single mother? That's the root. What happened to the baby's father? Why is she not with the baby's father? You know what I'm saying? Why can't she work it out with the baby's father? Why did she even choose the baby's father? That's the root. You got to look at the root and not the fruit. This movie compelled so many people and brought so many people to tears and brought in so much sympathy and emotion simply because they were looking at the fruit and not the root. I said it. Oh my gosh. You see you see what accountability can do? Isn't it wonderful? Yeah. Oh, it just feels so much better. Yeah, it feels great. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning into this multi-million-dollar podcast. I'm your host, Kev Prosper, the owner and founder of Prosperity ULLC. You are tuned into Love and Money, the podcast of Prosperity ULLC. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App above at $Prosperity ULLC. Thank you for visiting the website below at prosperunlimited.com. And thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. You guys are awesome. Remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand, Prosperity ULLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Be sure to shop Amazon with Prosperity ULLC. Link in the description.
These are all of my books. My very first book, Leave the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths, a romance murder mystery set in the heart of Brooklyn during the 1980s, during the height of the crack era. Switch, my romantic comedy. My trilogy, Spirit of the Machine, 1, 2, and 3, sci-fi action thriller. My poem anthology, Red Garden. That is System of the Sun. It's my book on organizational skills. Don't wait till I get rich to buy that book. New Shoes. That's my book on self-esteem, on how to love yourself. Ratchetology. Yes, I'm the Ratchetologist. Take my advice. Visit prosperunlimited.com and click travel to book your next vacation.
Do that freaky jam on the beat. Shitty with that butter shit, that bone feed. Did you double do that song sing. Flicky sticky with some butter, sit that phone too. If you cheeky chatter, check, I get her own cheese. And so chicken with that head or this up, that won't be with the official with that whole sleeve. Let these easy to the wish that with that long.
I got racks at ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks at ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. If I don't get swallowed in that fat ass